Imagine a world just 12 years from now, where everything we know has crumbled into ash and silence. The power grids have gone dark, food has become a luxury of the past, and a brutal nuclear conflict has claimed the lives of billions. This isn't the script of a Hollywood blockbuster, but the grim reality described by a man who claimed to have seen it all firsthand. His name was John Titor. He was a soldier, a technician, and, according to him, our last warning before the end of the world as we know it. The mystery began on a quiet, unremarkable night in July 1998. Art Bell, the legendary host of Coast to Coast AM, was running a special program for people who claimed to be time travelers. Among the usual calls, a series of faxes arrived that felt different, eerily real. The sender claimed to be a temporal soldier from the year 2036, currently stationed in our time for a mission of global importance. While Art Bell was used to stories of the fringe, these messages contained a level of technical and scientific detail that stunned his audience. The traveler spoke of singularities, fusion reactors, and the very physics of how time could be bent. He promised proof, then vanished. For 2 years, the world forgot about the faxes, until the traveler reappeared in late 2000. This time, he didn't use a fax machine, he used the internet. Under the username timetravel_0 and later John Titor, he began posting on public message boards. He told a story that was as fascinating as it was terrifying. He claimed he had been sent back by his government to the year 1975 to retrieve a specific piece of ancient hardware, the IBM 5100. To us, it was a museum piece, but to the people of 2036, it was a lifeline. Titor explained that in his future, a massive digital failure known as the Unix timeout was scheduled to hit in 2038. Because 32-bit systems would fail to recognize any date after January 19th of that year, the world's infrastructure would collapse. The IBM 5100 possessed a hidden, unpublicized ability to emulate and debug the legacy mainframe code needed to stop the disaster. At the time, only a few IBM engineers knew about this secret feature, yet here was a man from the future discussing it with total confidence. Titor didn't just share stories, he shared blueprints. He posted photographs of his time displacement unit, a heavy industrial-looking device he claimed was manufactured by General Electric. It wasn't a sleek silver ship, but a machine mounted in the back of a 1967 Chevrolet Corvette, and later a four-wheel drive truck. He explained that the machine used 2 micro-singularities to distort gravity, allowing him to slide between world lines in an infinite multiverse of possibilities. He dismissed the idea of time paradoxes, citing the Everett-Wheeler model of quantum mechanics, the theory that every possible outcome of every event actually happens in a different timeline. As the weeks passed, the curiosity turned into dread as Titor began to describe our immediate future. He spoke of a creeping civil war in the United States starting in 2004, triggered by civil unrest and the erosion of constitutional rights. He described it as a slow burn of monthly Waco-type events that would eventually escalate into total breakdown of society. By 2015, he claimed this internal conflict would be ended by a brief but devastating Third World War. Russia would launch a nuclear strike against American, Chinese, and European cities, wiping out 3 billion people and ending the American Federal Empire forever. His predictions were specific and haunting. He claimed that the Olympic Games would be officially cancelled after 2004 due to the growing global instability. He warned about the dangers of mad cow disease, which he said would become a devastating pandemic in his future. But more than the events, it was his attitude that stayed with people. He wasn't here to be a hero. He was often cold, calling our generation lazy, self-centered, and civically ignorant. He said that in the future we were looked at with contempt for willfully poisoning our food and ignoring the suffering of others while our freedoms were stripped away. On March 24, 2001, John Titor posted his final message. He thanked a few friends he had made, offered some last words of advice, and told his followers to bring a gas can when their cars eventually died on the side of the road. Then he was gone. In the years that followed, the world watched and waited, but the Civil War of 2004 never happened. The nuclear fire of 2015 never fell from the sky. The Olympic Games continued despite his claims. To many, this was proof that John Titor was nothing more than a ghost in the machine, a masterpiece of internet storytelling designed to exploit the fears of the new millennium. But the believers remained. They pointed to the many worlds theory Titor himself had championed. They argued that by coming to our timeline and warning us, he had inadvertently shifted us onto a different world line. Perhaps in some other version of reality, the cities are currently smoldering ruins and the 2038 bug is slowly ending civilization. The search for the real identity of John Titor eventually led to a law office in Florida. Investigators discovered that the John Titor Foundation was managed by a lawyer named Morey Haber. While Larry claimed only to represent the Titor family, many began to look at his brothers. Richard Haber was an IT administrator, and Morey Haber was a senior cybersecurity expert with the technical knowledge required to craft such a complex and scientifically grounded story. Forensic linguists later analyzed Titor's writings and found striking similarities to Morey Haber's own speech patterns and vocabulary. There were other candidates as well. Joseph Matheny, a pioneer of alternate reality games, later claimed that he and a group of collaborators created John Titor as a psychological experiment to see how quickly an internet myth could take root. He claimed the entire narrative was a work of fiction built to troll conspiracy theorists and test the boundaries of digital folklore. So, was John Titor a soldier from a dark future, or was he a masterpiece of internet storytelling? We may never have a definitive answer, but Titor left us with more than just failed predictions. He left us with a series of survival tips that, strangely, still resonate today. Learn basic first aid, understand water purification, and find 5 people you would trust with your life. He forced us to confront the fragility of our own timeline. He reminded us that the future is not a fixed destination, but a shadow cast by the actions we take today. Whether he was a time traveler or a ghost created by a lawyer and a computer expert, Titor's message remains the same. Time is the most precious resource we have, and it is slipping through our fingers every second. We are left with one final haunting thought he shared before he disappeared. If you truly knew what was coming, would you spend your time trying to prove a stranger wrong, or would you be getting ready to save what's left? The clock is ticking toward 2038. Farewell, John.